So you just got your first job in the cloud. What should you expect on your first day? Well, you can relax. It is your first day. They're probably not going to let you touch anything until you have some proper on. This essentially means you're going to have an opportunity to learn about the company's rules, tools, and how things work. It can seem very overwhelming, but it's not that bad. You'll be fine. Here's some tools to get you through it. Use the internal wiki. Look, most companies have an internal wiki, and if you don't know what I mean by that, it's basically the company's Wikipedia. You're going to want to know where this is and how to use it effectively. It's going to be extremely important as things move forward. Bookmark important pages. This might go without saying, but make a lot of bookmarks. If you see anything that looks remotely useful to you in the future, just make a bookmark of it. You're going to have to come back here. So might as well make one now. Take notes. Take a lot of notes. I know this may seem redundant, but you have to take a lot of notes. Now, whether you choose to do it digitally or by hand, and I do recommend hand, it actually really helps with memorizing things, but regardless of how you do it, you need to take a lot of notes. An app that I like to use is Notion. Apple Notes works really well. Whatever you're comfortable with. Just make sure that it's something that you can access on multiple devices and that you can organize really well. Don't try and learn everything at once. It's okay to be eager to learn what's going on, but honestly, take your time. You're not going to learn all this in a day. Just make sure you have the basic understanding and that you know where to go to find the answers to the questions that you're going to have in the future. But you can't tackle it all at once. It's not going to happen. Take breaks. That being said, make sure you're taking lots of breaks. The Pomodoro method is going to be really good for this. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes of break, then 25 minutes back on. It's used for studying, and that's essentially what you're doing. So Pomodoro technique, or if you have something else, but make sure you schedule those breaks in. Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. This one I can't stress enough. Ask a lot of questions. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Nobody wants to seem incompetent in front of their new coworkers or their superiors or supervisors, but the reality situation is they would all rather support you learning, understanding that you don't really know anything, than have to pay for the cost of your mistakes moving forward in the production environment or something that's mission critical. So please ask. Don't think you're being annoying. Just ask. There's also a lot of wisdom in senior devs. They have workflows and things that you just wouldn't know coming in. You're brand new. Things that will just save you time. And time is the one thing we can't buy. Next, you'll have to set up your environment. Now, whether or not you have a company issued device or your own device, you're kind of going to have to set it up with all the tools that you need to do the job. Now, this is going to be your own personal favorites and some company issued ones. Now, I won't go into every single DevOps tool because, to be honest, there's so many of them. But I'll at least cover the top 3 that you're going to probably need on every job. First, you'll need an IDE. I don't want to start a war, but VS Code is my personal favorite. Sorry to the Vim users out there. It's a great program. So yeah, I'll speak to that. There's just so many linters and plugins and all these different little tools built into VS Code for coding that just make things easier. Git, for example, is Git, but in VS Code, Git's amazing. It's VS Code Git. VS Git code. VS Code Git. Second one is for Mac users, Homebrew, and a package manager makes things very easy because you're going to be downloading tools all the time. So many different command line tools. Now, obviously, you're going to be using Linux, but if you're doing something locally from your machine, having a package manager to just grab a tool real quick saves a lot of time. No more exporting to the path. It's just there. And because it's managed, you can handle the updates of that tool, uninstalling really easily, to be honest. Now for Windows, I think Chocolatey is pretty good, but any kind of package manager is going to help. Now the last one is Git. It's just hard to imagine that you're not going to use some kind of version control. So definitely want Git on your host machine. And that's independent of whether you're using GitLab, GitHub, or any other thing. Kind of Git is Git, So yeah. Oh, one last thing. Some kind of password manager. Now, your company may supply you with one, especially if you're being given a device, but something to kind of manage your passwords and secrets for your company. Just when you're dealing with all this sensitive information and It's not yours. You have high level access to very important resources. You just want to keep it safe. Something like 1Password, I'm not endorsing them or anything, but just do your research. Some kind of password manager that is safe, reputable, hopefully hasn't been broken into recently. but something, it'll definitely help. But ultimately, your job will let you know the tools that you need to be successful at that job. You might have a meeting with everyone. Now, whether this is in person or virtually through some kind of stand-up meeting, it's a chance for you to meet everybody and introduce yourself. Try to stick to a brief summary of your work history as it pertains to the job, or if it's just interesting, get something that you're kind of passionate about within the field that you're working in. Maybe something, a little sprinkle of your personality, so you can connect with people in your job after the meeting. It should go a little something like this. Hi, my name is. Give a brief summary of your work history. If you're one of those people that don't really know what brief is, just give a few experiences that led you to this current role, or a few experiences that led you to the skills that will make you important in this role. So yeah, keep it simple. List like a few things that you're interested in outside of work. Nobody likes a robot. And you can give excited to be working with y'all, or whatever's authentic to you. Try to be original. It just makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's it. First day is going to be easy. Don't sweat it. If you're having anxiety, there's really nothing to worry about. You already got the job. Now it's just time to perform.